everyone, my name is Ms. Varela and I'm going to be reading a very special story for you today. And that story is Where the Wild Things Are. It says illustrated, which means drawn, and the story is by Maurice Sendak. So he did both. He drew the pictures and he wrote the story. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So again, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. So here, where the wild things are. And look, we have Max over here, King Max. And look at these guys. These are wild things. Oh my goodness, look at them. They have yellow eyes. They have their claws. Look, this one looks like he's wearing a sweater. He has feathers right here and he has a long tail. Pretty scary, huh? The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. So we have Max right there. Does he look very happy? It looks like he's about to get into some trouble, right? That's what mischief means, like trouble. And another, so he got in trouble once, and then he did something else, and oh, look at him. He has his fork. He's chasing his poor dog over here. Look, does his dog look happy? No, huh? His dog looks scared. Look, he's chasing his dog with a fork. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. So he was rude to his mom. Look at his room. There's the moon over here. He has a little plant. There's his bed. And look at him. Does he look very happy? He doesn't look very happy, right? He looks pretty upset. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. So we see his room again, right? It looks different from the first time. What do we see growing? Right? We have trees here. We still have the moon, but we see trees are growing, right? And this bed looks like it's getting smaller. And what does his look like? What does his face look like? Does he still look like he's angry? Does it look like he's getting a little bit more happier? And grew, and oh, look at it now. Are there more trees now? There are, huh? And what looks like it's gone. We can't even see the bed anymore, right? If you look over here, there's grass now. And look at Max. How does he look like? He looks like he's pretty happy now, right? And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. So he's not in his room anymore. His room turned into a forest. So we have him right here. He looks like he's happy. We don't have the bed anymore. There's all these little flowers. It's completely gone now, his room. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. And he sailed off through night and day. So a boat came. We have this boat and it's called the Max. So if you look right here, the name of the boat is called the Max. It looks like he's pretty happy with himself. And he's sailing away. Where do you think he's sailing to? Where do you think he might be going? So he sailed for a year and in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. So remember I asked you, where do you think he's going? He went to where the wild things are. And look, we have a wild thing right over here, right? He has horns. He has sharp teeth. He has some claws. What about Max? Does he look like he's kind of scared? A little, right? And he's even making some claws of his own right here. And he came to the place where the wild things are. They roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. So here's where the wild things are now. So we have him over here, his little boat. And we have all these new wild things. And they're rolling their eyes. They have their big yellow eyes. They're trying to scare him, right? till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. So right here, he's scaring them, huh? That's the magic trick. It's not looking into their eyes without blinking. He did a staring contest with them. And look, they're all scared. This one's all scared. This little one's scared over here too. They're all scared of him. And they made him king of all the wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. So look, he's king now. He's king of all the wild things. We have this wild thing that's bowing down to him. And we have all the other ones that are real happy for him to be king. And he says, let the wild rumpus start. So look, here's the first part of the rumpus. What are they doing? They're howling at the moon. Max is in the middle of it. And look, Max even has a crown here. He's got his little crown. This small monster looks happy. This wild thing looks happy. These guys look happy over here too, right? They're all howling at the moon. And look at this next one. What are they doing in this one? Look what they're doing. They're climbing trees, right? We have King Max here again. We have the first wild thing we saw in the beginning, and they're all happy and climbing trees. Nobody looks like they're sad. They're all happy. And look, it looks like they're having a little parade for him, right? There's Max over here on the top. He's riding one. It looks like it's a huge parade for Max. Now stop, Max said, and the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. Then when he gets bad and he goes, go to sleep. And we have this one napping over here. Everybody looks like they're napping. But then we see Max over here, right? He looks pretty sad. He wants to be where someone loves him. But the wild things cried, oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so. And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. So he's like, bye. And you see all the wild things getting upset. They look like they're angry. And look, we have Max over here and he's waving bye. You have all the other wild things getting upset. They don't want him to go. They want him to stay. He sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. So where do you think he's going? See, he's on his boat again. So where do you think he's heading off to? Do you think he's going back home? And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. So he's back home, look. Look at him, he's back home. And he has his food here. So we have his food right here. His bed's here. He doesn't have his crown anymore because he's not king, remember? And his supper, it was still hot. The end. Thank you for listening. You all were really good listeners. Now tell me, what was your favorite part? My favorite part was when the wild rumpus started. I really liked when they were howling at the moon. All right, thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great night. And if you really like this book, make sure to go to your local library, your public library, and check it out so that you can read it again and again. All right, goodbye.